for joining us. We'll get right into it. Brett, you're up first.
About how difficult was that to kind of stem the tide once they got rolling in there, and why do you think it was so tough to score there during that stretch, especially in the second half?
Yeah, there's no doubt we're off kilter on the offensive side, and we're not playing with any confidence. We're fumbling the ball. We're not screening. I mean, it's our ability to be assignment sound has not been very good. And again, we've got, we haven't had everybody. And again, I thought we got off to a good start but give Cincinnati a ton of credit. They played harder than we did, which is very unacceptable for me to stomach. They were the more physical team, and I give them a lot of credit. And it wasn't, I think we're number 2 in the country or number 1 in the country defensively. And we were fine for 8 minutes. And then all of a sudden, we just, we forget what it's like to play hard on that end.
Jeremy, you up next.
Brad, who do you look to for leadership from your players right now? Who are you turning to?
Anybody, all of them. You start with Trent, you start with DeMonte. DeMonte comes in, gets 10 rebounds, and you start with Kofi, and now that he's back and in the mold. I mean, it's about being connected. It's about being together. It's about being a cohesive group, and obviously we're not that, especially on the offensive end. We come back and we're number 2 in the country in rebounding, and we just get pounded on the glass tonight. You'd think that'd be different with Kofi, but here he is, and he only has 6 rebounds. So I didn't like our energy. I'm looking for anybody, and everybody's got to be held accountable. But we've had, Jeremy, and it's an excuse, but yet it's relevant because we've been so fractured here early in the season and had no continuity and no togetherness, and guys out and guys not even being able to come to practice. And we'll get it right. And but right now tonight, that was ugly tonight. That was hard to watch.
Alec, you can go next.
Hey, Brad, obviously you guys struggled in the half court against Marquette. You struggled against Cincinnati tonight in the half court. What kind of things can you do to try and fix that before tomorrow, if anything?
Good question. We'll find out. Execute. It's a good example. We run a little play at the end where we run Trent off a couple of baseline screens to play into a ball screen, something we've run and executed many, many times for the last couple of years. Nobody screened Trent. That little sucker fought over every screen tonight that they set, and they set a bunch of them, and we don't screen. And it's everybody's got to do their job. And we got too many people right now that again, and we're not connected. We're not spraying the ball off of dribble drives. We're not spraying the ball and moving it offensively. It's going to be a tough night for us when Trent and Bello have tough shooting nights like they've had, and it truly affects our wing players as well.
Kellis, you're up next.
Hey, Brad, good to see you again, but I know today didn't go the way you wanted, but was it nice on any level playing back in a familiar environment around maybe some friendly faces?
Sure. I love Kansas City. It's been a venue I've been in many, many times. I think Kansas City is one of those special basketball towns, and it was a tough night to sit in there and play like that. But it's always good to be back in Kansas City.
And if you guys end up playing Kansas State tomorrow, are there any extra emotions there, especially with them having 2 guys used to coach on their staff right now?
A lot of long time away, and it was good last night to catch up with Curtis Kelly and Shane Southwell, and obviously known Bruce for many years, and We forget about all those things when the game starts, and we've got to compete. And I know they're extremely well coached and playing well.
All right. Hey, thanks, Brad.
Thanks, Kells.
Next up, Caleb.
Coach, I'm just curious, was there something that surprised you the most about Cincinnati? Like when you scouted them, obviously you looked closely at several things. Was there something about Cincinnati that surprised you the most tonight that you didn't expect?
No, I knew they were good. I knew their depth was terrific. They've got great size. I think if we the Saunders kid, played great, and hurt us, especially in the first half. But, they were we statistically, we aligned just a lot alike in our few games that we've played, and they're guarding, they're playing really hard, and they're rebounding it and kind of doing the same things that we've been doing until tonight.
Got time for a couple more. I'll start with Joey.
Hey, Brad, that last kind of long stretch at the end of the game that you got most of your starters out of there and dug into the bench, was that, did you think like this is out of hand? Were you trying to send a message to the starters? What was, maybe that's just the earliest we've seen you go to the bench like that.
Joey, I was trying to score. I was trying to find somebody who would execute a play and actually try to fight on the defensive end. I left DeMonte in for a long time because he was the only one getting a rebound. He was flying around, playing with some effort. And we got a game again tomorrow. So we'll regroup here tonight. It's a long night, and we got to get things right. And when you get knocked down, you better get up. And that's life. That's not just basketball. And we're going to see what our character is.
Thanks, Brad.
All right, two more. We'll start with Scott.
I know you've talked previously about not letting missed shots affect other things about the game. Did you see that from your team tonight? Is there a way to fight that when it's happening?
Yeah, it's called toughness, and we don't have much of it right now. We've got to get that. Scott and we haven't been pretty early at all on the offensive end. Our offensive numbers have not been very good, and I don't worry about that. In our process, in the way we do things, we should guard and rebound well enough that we can overcome tough shooting nights. Now, when one of those others goes by the wayside, which both went by the wayside tonight, you're going to see an outcome like this. But again, the process is play hard, rebound, guard, and withstand the nights that the ball doesn't go in. But we'll get it right. Well, the offensive end will flow better, we'll be better. But again, it's the other end. We've got to, I'm the most disappointed in it.
All right, one more we'll take from Alec.
Yeah, sorry, Brad. Sorry, I had to get unmuted. So I kind of wanted to follow up on the half-court offense. Where did you think things kind of went wrong in terms of the ball sticking? The wings didn't seem to get open very much, whether that was Trent or Grandison or DeMonte, whoever it was. How can you get those guys open for shots?
Well, good rules, throw the ball to Kofi and let him double and triple and him throw it back out and make shots. But again, offense is fickle, and you've got to play in rhythm. And we're not playing in any rhythm. And I was proud of Hutch tonight. Hutch came in, and yet he doesn't know he was on minute limitations. The kid hasn't been played in 2 years. And yet you've got to be able to play in space and know when your shots are coming and expect them. And again, we haven't been that in practice. We can dry run all that stuff all we want until you get out there and face a defense and see what they do. It just takes a little time. But at the end of the day, our execution is not very good. We're not screening well enough. And we got too many guys trying to be heroes and make plays. And we're just not tough enough with the ball right now. So we'll get all that figured out.
All right, thanks, Coach. Thanks, everyone.
Thank you.